Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to The Walk. Today is Wednesday, November 12th, and today we are going to be finishing up reading through Psalm 139. I've been modeling for you how to read the Bible out loud and kind of talk through. This is what it means. What you're basically doing is you're kind of pretending that there's somebody else in the room with you, and you're explaining what it means to that person, even though they're not really there. Why are we doing this? Because it helps us to understand it in a deeper way. It helps us to break through that passive laying back and just reading it and getting to the bottom of the page and going, wait a minute, my mind wandered. I don't even know what I just read. When you engage in it this way, you're going to be getting more information out of it. You're going to be understanding it in a deeper way. Through the subsequent days, we're going to be going into a deep dive of Psalm 139, verse 5. And I'm going to be modeling and showing you many ways that you can study Bible verses and break them down and really get to the depth of what those verses mean. So we are on Psalm 139, verse 17, and this is what it says. How precious to me are your thoughts, O God. How vast is the sum of them. What do we know out of that? First of all, God has an enormous amount of thoughts, of course, because he is God. And those thoughts should be very precious to us. We should be valuing that. When we hear the Holy Spirit say something in our ear, it matters. I told you on Monday when we started this study, I was hearing Psalm 139:5 at random moments all week last week. And in the first few times I heard it, I wasn't in a place where I could look it up in the Bible. I didn't even know what it said off the top of my head. And when I looked at that verse and then saw it in its context, I was blown away at what he was showing me. With Psalm 139, there's so much here and there's an enormous amount of information, but we're going to keep moving forward. So we're now in verse 18. If I would count them, they are more than the sand. I awake and I am still with you. So what do we know out of this? God has an innumerable, an amount of thoughts that we couldn't even begin to conceive of, because it's more than the sand on the earth. That's a lot of sand if you think about it. And when we're awake, as when we wake up, God is still there. He was with us the entire time we were asleep. Verse 19, oh, that you would slay the wicked, O God. O men of blood, depart from me. This is David calling on God to fight his enemies for him. They speak against you with malicious intent. Your enemies take your name in vain. This is what they're doing wrong. Do I not hate those who hate you, O Lord? Do I not loathe those who rise up against you? I hate them with complete hatred. I count them from my enemies. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. This is an invitation to God to completely search us and know who we are, know what we're all about. We want God that intimately to know us, and we want to know God as deeply as we possibly can with our human brains that can't completely wrap our head around the majesty and the power of who God is. And then verse 24, and see if there be any grievous way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. Sometimes that's a hard thing. Sometimes it's really hard to say to the Lord, show me where I'm wrong. Show me where my sin is, so that you can keep leading me into that deeper relationship with Christ. I don't know about you, but a lot of times I don't want to look at my sin. I don't want God to point out my sin. But yet he will. Sorry, my puppy's trying to jump into my lap. I don't want to look at my sin. I don't want God examining my sin. But you know what? When you do that, you can break through to the other side. And when you get to that other side, you're in that deeper relationship with the Holy Spirit. You're in a deeper relationship with Christ. And your walk with God has deepened, and you're at that new level. So it's very worth it. David understood why it was worth it to say, see if there's any grievous way in me and lead me into that deeper relationship with Christ. That's what we want. That's where we want to go. So as you go into your prayer closet today, spend some time asking God to reveal any sin that is in your life. We have finished Psalm chapter 139. We're going to do a little bit of commentary tomorrow, and then we're going to do that deep dive into Psalm 139, verse 5. Have a wonderful day. God bless, and keep walking the walk.